when I'm doing these movement, chest press in particular, you'll never see me grab the weight, come back, and then go right up with it. Some people yell, some people scream. You know, mine is more enclosed. So when I approach the bar, there's a lot of different things that you might see. And I know there's a lot of different speculation when it comes to curls. You know, do you come all the way down? Do you partially down? I hear it all the time. What's the best movement to get big arms? What's up, guys? Mackey here, IFBB Pro. I'm over here in London, Ohio at elitefts right now. Badass gym, badass facility. I'm actually going to walk through some things as far as some things I've used in regards to help me achieve a 910-pound deadlift, which I hit last year at CT Fletcher's event. Mainly, really, the principle that I want to put behind this is the mindset of things. I talk about that a lot in regards to not just the deadlift, but my training style in general. Anytime I've ever done a PR, it's literally me getting into the right mindset days before. When you're doing some serious heavy weight, you know, when I kind of start getting up to 840, 850, all the way up to 900 pounds, it literally required days of mental preparation. Prior to a workout in general, when I'm doing chest, shoulders, legs, it's that same type of mindset, but it's not necessarily the one that I use when I'm hitting these PRs. And that's a whole other level. I'll get more into that as far as it goes. I'm gonna kind of show and walk through some stuff as far as what I think about when I'm walking up to the bar, when I'm setting up for each lift. I'm a conventional puller. I do use straps. My coach is Jailhouse Strong. We've been working together since probably about the last year and a half. And reason we use straps, obviously, I'm still a professional bodybuilder, so I still have, of course, plans to compete on the pro stage. And we do that more as a reason just to obviously avoid injury. And obviously, I still plan on competing here in the next year or so. So using both overhand grip with straps is the best way to go about doing that, of course, while hitting PRs as well too. But like I said, I do use straps. So I'm not gonna go heavy today, not gonna do anything crazy, but mainly what I wanna do is just line things up in regards to the type of mindset that I have walking up to the bar, what I think about when I get to a certain weight, and then when I get to that top weight, where my mind's at that point as well too. All right, so I think every lifter has a strategy when they're lifting. I've watched some of the great pullers over the years. I knew the Lily Bridges years ago before I even personally knew them this past year. And I say that in regards to the fact that my personal method that I didn't even realize that I do at times, but even when I'm warming up, it's almost like I'm digging my foot in the ground, but I'm not digging my foot in the ground. That's just me getting adjusted. That's just me getting my hips activated, lined up. Obviously, before I even start doing any type of warm up or anything like that, I'm stretching. I've been fortunate enough to work with some really good lifters, learn from them. Did a lot of collaboration with Larry Wheels that showed me a lot about, you know, stretching, getting some movements in there. Of course, my coach Jailhouse Strong. So you don't see these things, obviously, when I'm doing these PRs. You know, usually you guys just see the big final set and me repping it out one or two times. But there's a lot of things that go hand in hand with that prior to those big PR lifts. Warming up is one, of course. And physically, that's one thing. Mentally, it's a whole nother thing as well, too. You have to really, it's crazy because I was having a good conversation with Chris, co-founder of Kabuki Strength, about this a couple weeks ago. But you actually have to know, like, when to, like, turn it on mentally. And I was telling him the same thing, that at times when I'm at, you know, 600 pounds, but I'm about to go for an 850-pound PR for reps, you know, a song can come on, and I have to tell myself mentally, not yet, because personally speaking, I always have to go to a certain place mentally to hit these big PRs. And if I kind of like pre-exhaust myself out, you know, mentally first or too soon, I'm not gonna say it can mess things up because I've never done it. I just know like when to turn on and when when to say not yet. So in regards to all of that, there's a lot of different preparation that goes into every workout, for sure every PR, because PRs obviously, you know, these are single rep PR maxes as far as that goes. Prior to a top set PR, you'll see in videos, actually sometimes you don't see it, but usually I'm more of a internal rage, I guess you could say. You know, some people, you know, let it out, some people yell, some people scream. You know, mine is more enclosed. So when I approach the bar, there's a lot of different things that you might see, but it's for a reason as far as like while I'm doing it. One in particular is you'll see me do this. And the reason I'm doing that is because obviously you can roll any type of weight around with your foot like that pretty easily. And even if it's 850 pounds, it's still pretty easy. But I do that to get a feel of the weight. And when I do that, I'm already seeing that it's light, so-called, okay? But that also allows me to, you know, get up there, of course, and realize that it can roll, which this is probably the craziest, dumbest thing to think, that it can roll, so it must be easy, right? But obviously it's gonna roll because it's like wheels, of course, right? And another thing, of course, you'll see me do is taking the slack out the bar. Obviously, we don't have any type of real weight on here, but when you have super heavy weight on there, you know, there's a difference between picking the weight up and then taking the slack off the bar. You know, if there was, let's just say 800 pounds on here, you're gonna get some flex in this bar, and I'm gonna try to do it as the best I can with this single weight on here, but well, I can't do it, but it's pretty much getting the flex out the bar. And you'll see me get the flex out the bar at least about 2 or 3 times. And prior to me doing that, when I wasn't doing it, I can just tell you it makes a huge difference. So for anyone that is entering into heavy deadlifts, getting the flex out the bar makes a night and day difference. So those are really the steps that I use in regards to getting ready for a PR, mentally telling myself, and here's the thing as well too, here's the most important thing I would say to that. Regardless of the weight, when you're doing a PR, you can defeat yourself before you even get to the weight. Any weight that I've ever done, I've always told myself, I'm gonna make this look easy, okay? I don't care if it was 600 pounds for 15 reps, or if it was 850 pounds for 3 reps, or if it was 900 pounds. I never was intimidated by the weight. I always attacked it, and I always looked at it as something that was trying to hold me back. And I don't like being defeated, especially when it's within my power. So every type of PR that I did, inside of my head, I'm cursing the weight out, I'm flipping it off. You know, I'm just developing a certain type of internal rage that allows me that when I get to the bar and I'm getting the flex out, at that point, I'm just ready to destroy it. Now, fell in the PR lift. Have I ever felt a PR lift? Absolutely. The first time I attempted 910 pounds was in Dallas at Destination. And prior to that, I was hitting PR every week after, let's just say every bi-weekly, I was hitting PRs. And I got the 910 pounds, everything went as planned, everything was great. Just the weight kicked my ass, right? I was not happy about that. There was literally nothing I could reflect back on and think about why I did not hit the weight. It was literally just some heavy ass weight. I got the second attempt to try it, to do it at CT Fletcher's event at Iron Wars a month later. And I went to Iron Wars, and that's when I achieved the 910 pound deadlift. But from that time that I failed to the time that I was going back to do that 910 pounds, it was literally mental preparation from that point when I failed to the time that I was going to get my hands back on it again. So by the time I got back to 910 pounds, I was literally just ready to, you know, if it's I'm not gonna say a person, but if it's anything, I was just ready to like destroy it, you know, and that's what happens. So the mental preparation is just as important as the physical. Obviously, you have to have both. but you have to prepare yourself. And if you talk yourself out or give yourself any type of doubt prior to a PR, you're defeated. So a concept that I use with every PR, every lift that I'm doing, every workout that I'm doing is this shit is easy, and I'm about to make it look like 100 pounds, even though it's 800 pounds. So try it out. You guys will love it. So I remember talking to this powerlifter at the gym, and I was asking him, you know, what are you going to go for at your meet? And, you know, my questions are very specific. Like I'm literally just asking for a particular reason. For one, I want to see what they're going to say, and I want to see how they're going to say it. And it's obviously helped out a lot of people, which is another reason why, you know, hitting these PRs, I want to use my platform for more than just showing people brute strength, but like I said, the mental side of things. And his response was, you know, I'm going to try to hit 650 on deadlift, and then I'm going to try to hit 575 on squat, and then I'm going to try to go for da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, you've already failed, man. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, why are you saying trying? And I said, I've never in my life had something that I wanted to achieve and said that I'm going to try, especially a lift, and especially a PR for sure. If I went to any PR and said, especially if my coach sent it to me, and that's a whole nother story that I'll tell you. If my coach sent me my plan and said, do 850, he would always message me the day before, and he would say, ask me, how do you feel, Joe? And my response was, I'm going to fucking kill it. If I ever responded to him and said, I'm going to try to go for it. Like, I mean, that just, so once again, if you're obviously, and that doesn't even necessarily mean you're in your mind, or that doesn't necessarily even mean that you're being unconfident. It's just like, if you have a goal, especially a PR, we'll just keep it with this, because I can go talk about this type of stuff for hours. But if you're going for a PR, do not defeat yourself mentally and tell yourself that you're going to try to hit it. Like, get some aggression behind it. Like, tell you know, yourself, tell people when they ask you, like, you know, what are you going to go for? Like, hey, I'm a fucking kill, you know, 650 pounds. Like, there you go. And that's just a good way in regards to having that mental preparation prior to every lift and every workout as well too. You know, I pertain this to like more than just weightlifting. Like I get on to one of my business partners all the time, because it's like, you know, I can ask him a question and he's like, oh, maybe this, and you know, and I'll ignore that, and then it's like, you know, maybe we could try this, and I'll ignore that, and it's already boiling, and he's like, you know, hopefully, and I'm just like, God damn it, if you keep using those words, hopefully, maybe trying. I just don't believe in that. I mean, obviously, you have to prepare and you have to get things in order. And I can't just sit over here and say, hey, I'm going to go bench press 1,000 pounds. Obviously, you have to be realistic, right? But when it's attainable, then you know, when I prepare for it, when I know, you know, it's in my vision as far as what I'm going to do. Even if I'm not ready for it, like even if I know it's going to take time, you know, even if it's a business or whatever the case is, you know, I'm not going to obviously sit here and say, hey, I'm going to make, you know, $5 million next weekend. But I will say, you know, I'm going to be successful with this XYZ by the end of this year or in 8 months or whatever the case is. Just eliminate the words trying, maybe, hopefully, because that just, in my opinion, that just sets things up in regards to, you know, just doubt, I guess you could say, and anything that I personally know that I can really put my mind to and go for and put all my effort into it, then I know I can succeed in it. And some people might call that, I don't think it's a bit of arrogance whatsoever, because you have to do your homework, and it requires a lot of hard work as well too. So you have to be willing to put the work in as well too. All right, so I like to go heavy with just about everything that I do, from legs to chest to back, and all the way up until when I grab the weight. Once again, Similar mindset to a deadlift. When I touched the weight, you know, just like when I picked up that 100, I didn't warm up. I just went right to the 100. But inside my mind, I was just like, this 100 is going to feel like 10 pounds. I told myself that. And honestly, when I picked it up, it felt like 10 pounds. So, and when I'm doing these movement, chest press in particular, you'll never see me grab the weight, come back, and then go right up with it. Because when it comes to this movement, I'm always thinking, stay tight. So even when I do the 200s, you'll see me come back with it. Usually it requires, if I have a spotter, I always tell them, don't touch my elbows, don't do anything. I have had one spotter one time that kind of freaked out. And when I came back, I was trying to get stable and tight. And while I'm trying to get stable and tight, he's pushing me up. So I kind of had to yell at him. And the reason that is, of course, is because, you know, whether I'm doing 100s, 150s, or the 200s, you know, my mindset is in regards to, you're not going to see me move the weight up until I'm solid within my foundation, which means if I'm coming back and the weights are wobbly, or my shoulders are off, or, you know, my back is wobbling on the bench, I need to be grounded before I do anything. And obviously that's with anything, because being grounded and aligned is where your true power comes from. So you're always going to see me do that when it comes to chest press. Basically anything heavy, you're going to see me do that when it comes to that. Same thing with deadlift. I know I keep talking about deadlift, of course, but it's about being into your statue as far as where you're the strongest. If you're doing deadlift and one of your foot is in front of the other, or if you grab the bar and your grip is off, so everything that you're doing, even when it comes to, you know, no matter what movement it is, it's about being grounded. It's about being, you know, just trying to think of the word as far as what I mean as far as when it comes to that. But being grounded, guys. Like, you're not in a rush when it comes to these movements. So you want to be able to put your max efforts in for each one of these movements where you're at your strongest at. All right. So that's a good concept that I like to use when it comes to chest press with dumbbells.
All right, you're good.
All right. So when I'm doing biceps and triceps, I do biceps and triceps together. Biceps and triceps, you don't have to rest the time in between sets like you do with chest, back, legs. Biceps, triceps are small muscle groups. So I rest the bare minimum, and I always superset a bicep movement with a tricep movement. For example, I'll do dumbbell curls, and I know there's a lot of different speculation when it comes to curls. You know, do you come all the way down? Do you, you know, do you come partially down? Do you do partials? Or what? I hear it all the time. What's the best movement to get big arms? It's not necessarily a best movement. You just have to have a wide variety of different, you know, ways to train the muscle, just like you would any other muscle group. So in this one in particular, I'm not going to do the full set, but this is one that I do 10 with a 2 or 3 second squeeze at the top, and then a rep out 10. So you're going to see me squeeze, hold it, 1, 2, 3. And on these, I'm coming all the way down. I'm keeping the arms open because you want to keep the blood flowing. You want as much blood flow as you can on this movement. So you want come up, squeeze again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 5. So normally I would do 10 of those, and then I would rep out 10 without the squeezes. That's 5. So you do those right the first time. I mean, doing 5 and 5, I already obviously got a little bit of pump in my biceps. And like I said, I superset. So every bicep movement, I'm going to do a tricep movement right behind it. What I like to do in general is superset with dips. There's a lot of different ways you can do dips. The way I personally do them is I'm on my feet, and dips, I'm focusing on more the stretch than anything else. So when you can stretch the tricep out at the bottom, stretch, 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 squeeze at the top, stretch, squeeze. Now, there's always ways to make a movement harder. And, you know, I've learned this obviously from working with some great coaches throughout the years. This one in particular, I know you guys obviously know who the legend is. My coach was John Meadows. He showed me these movements, of course, mountain dog style training. So with this particular movement, this one shows for doing 5 seconds down and 5 seconds up. So we'll do a few of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's one. You can see my arms already shaking. All right. So we're gonna do one more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Now, in reality, obviously, if I'm in the right mindset, and I already got a pump from that, that's crazy. I would do 5 of those, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up, and then I would rep out 10. So, once again, there's a ton of different ways to make a movement harder. You know, like I said, it's really in regards to switching things up, and that's with everybody part. You know, I can obviously, you know, rep out 150s, 200 pounds with dumbbells, and also can grab the 80 pounds and kill myself with them because I'm doing it in a different way. And that really just comes from knowledge. It comes from exploring, getting your body, getting these muscles activated in more than different ways. You don't always have to lift heavy or go for PRs to grow. And what I've learned that helps my body out is switching things up. I do a heavy week one week. I do a deload week the next week. On the deload weeks, I'm switching it up. I'm just doing different movements. I'm making even though the 100-pound dumbbells are lightweight for me, I can make those 100 pounds extremely hard and get my chest way more of a pump using those than I can with the 150 pounds doing PRs or doing 200 pounds and trying to see how many reps I can do. So overall, guys, it's really just about activating the body, switching it up, and when you can shock your body, that's when you really achieve maximum muscle growth. Thanks, guys.
It's not going to your organs. So your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, your heart are not getting the support from your body that they need because you've given your body this very strong signal that it needs to go to muscle. Mm-hmm. So if you were to stay on a huge amount of androgens for never mind years, decades, that's when you see organ damage, things start to grow, you know,